Hello and welcome to another episode of Comprehending Consciousness. My name is Allie with A. Marie Speaks, and this is episode number 33 already, and the topic is going to be manifesting. I did a similar video a while back on the law of attraction, and that is helpful in understanding how manifestation works. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. It'll be in the description below after this video. If you are brand new to my channel, thank you. Welcome so much for checking it out. This series itself is all about comprehending consciousness. And what I mean by that is the terms and phrases that we're using a lot and that have become sort of commonplace in the conscious communities. Those people who are part of spiritual realm a little bit, maybe the New Age or Christian metaphysics, all of these other sort of fringe communities who are building and growing out there. We see a lot of the words and the workings coming and trickling down now into the mainstream, into 3D, and into people who are just waking up. And so I wanted to make a quick set of videos that I could always come back to in return and offer up a little educational, quick tour of the iceberg of what the word or phrase is, and give it like an offering to people to do their own deep dive when they're ready. A lot of the words and phrases that I choose to highlight in this series are things that I see a lot of distortions, confusion, or misconceptions around, especially presented down to 3D, to people who are newly waking up, to people who maybe are not spiritual or have been corralled in an indoctrinated fashion, led through certain belief patterns and certain ways of thinking, very closed in. So it's my hope to sort of, open up, clear away the corrals and the fences, and take a good look at what we actually are here working with, and offer it freely for people to do their own assessments with. And so if that kind of thinking intrigues you, if you are interested in seeing what I have to say about other topics, I have 30-something other episodes already over, a variety of topics like woke, sovereignty, asleep, and so many other of these like workings that are coming forward that have to do with energetics and metaphysics, like the law of attraction, like polarization and intention. So if those kind of things are new to you, you can definitely check out other videos on my channel because I talk about that a lot. For this video here, I do try to keep comprehending consciousness short and to the point. I actually already tried to record a video on manifesting for episode 33, and it became a deep dive sort of roundabout explanations, and I am working my hardest to remain direct and focused so that I can respect my own time and all my viewers' times as well. So I possibly will share that as like a deep dive episode after this, side note. I do those sometimes, but for now I wanted to just break clean and give myself the time and space to speak directly on the topic of manifesting and what the word means and some of the misconceptions around it. So first and foremost, the word and the concept of manifesting is basically bringing things into your world, thinking and receiving. It plays off of that ask and you shall receive kind of law. It also has a lot to do with the energetic exchanges that happen within the universe, within all different beings, and within the ether kind of space that that holds us. And what the surface level idea of manifesting that's presented up to the mainstream right now is sort of this frivolous, superficial kind of just think good thoughts and good things will happen to you kind of Band-Aid approach. They present the concept of manifestation as immediate materialization of whatever you want. People kick manifesting, like if you want a certain car, you can manifest it. If you want a certain home or job, you can manifest it. If you want to be some brand new person, you manifest your way there. And this is a bit of an illusion and trick and misuse of the word, in fact, because all of those types of things, those desires and wants that are out there for us, potentials that we could choose, our sovereign choice, thoughts and intentions will call forth and basically light up a flag or a notion or knowing that those things are for us out there. The misconception and the idea that's kind of comes in with this this Band-Aid version of manifesting is that all you have to do is think and want, and you will have. And that is not really how it works. I talked about this, like I said at the start, in the Law of Attraction video just a little bit. So if you're interested in the energetics of how to make it work for yourself, that video is really helpful because I do kind of talk a little bit more about the way our thoughts shape our reality and the way that you can use your thoughts to call forth things. Now, the kind of mainstream Band-Aid version that they're giving to you is just think happy thoughts and it will change your whole world. And that isn't actually the case. I mean, thinking the happy thoughts are very important, but it's the emotional intention, it's the energy of your truth, if you're aligning with it or not, if you're feeling it or not, if you're denying it or accepting it. And that's what creates your, like you're an antenna, like a radio station, you're broadcasting out your sound, your song, your whatever your broadcast is, right? When you align with your truth, you have a clear broadcast. But it doesn't matter how much you want things or you say or you speak over your energetics. If you haven't done the internal balancing and you don't have a clear antenna, you can speak out whatever you want, but the universe isn't going to really hear it. It's getting a distorted version of that, and your shadow's there in the background as well, saying what it wants and confusing the signal even more. And so, yes, you can think and you can change your world, and your thoughts totally shape your world. Your thoughts are your reality. But there's this much deeper understanding. Where are the thoughts coming from? What are the quality of the thoughts? What and why do you have those thoughts? And then, how do you get into the active space of controlling, thinking about, consciously living in those thoughts, accepting them as truths and living your life by them, instead of seeing them as separate and trying to change them and conform them to thoughts you think you should have, or society tells you you should have, or whatever the case is. It's the really, I talk about this so much, but the foundational work, it's so crucial to every other working that comes afterwards. And manifesting and the law of attraction is all after work. You know, you have to have a steady balancing happening of truth and honesty with yourself in order to call things that you really want towards you. And if that interests you, if shadow work interests you, if you're intrigued to learn more about that, I'll put a link to a couple of shadow work, or my shadow work playlist. I'll link that because I have a ton of videos on this concept. But the thing is, I mean, manifesting the way it's being showcased in mainstream and social media with influencers and all these kinds of things, it's not presented fairly, in my opinion. You know, just like nothing on television or nothing in Hollywood really shows you what a person really looks like or a person really is. They're all actors, they're all made up, they're all playing a part, they have a pound of makeup on and fake hair, and these days, I mean, you don't even need the makeup or the fake things. They do the CGI kind of things, the filters and all that kind of computerized fakeness that's just even one step shallower, one step lighter, you know. And they feed this concept that, oh yeah, you just think what you want and you get it. And then that is a catch-22, and it keeps the herd, you know, mulling around and never ever getting anywhere, because they don't realize the actual deep work that comes first to make that work. And so they see the surface level only, and it backfires on them, and it brings in lots of negativity towards them. And so then they think, oh, either they think it's BS and it doesn't really work, or they just think they're not good enough and they can't get it to work for them. Perhaps they don't deserve the things that aren't coming to them, right? So this is, you know, those are liar loops, and those are negative systems, right? We have to remember that things that are negative are pulling in and recycling and never going anywhere or ever growing or changing. And so we have to be very cautious when we find ourselves trapped in those kinds of settings. And the manifesting one is huge, you know, and there's a lot of work being put into keeping the corral of the herd kind of chasing its tail and hoping that they never realize the real power that's within them. And again, that's, you know, that's what your journey is all about for you, is finding that and finding it work for you. And so I will just say that if you want a certain car, you want a certain job, you want a certain whatever you're desiring, you know, a different home or a certain special item, you know, thinking things through, making plans, setting goals, and taking action towards them. Those are all divine things. They're wonderful, energetic practices that are necessary in this real world, in this physicality. And if you desire something, go for it. Make it work. But don't hide the ugly work, the everyday things that go into it. You know, don't put makeup over your face before there's no sense in it. Just plan, make a design in your beautiful imagination, craft it, and bring it down into fruition. That doesn't really take magic or manifesting, you know. It's, like I said, it's a fluffy layering that's really fed to people to keep them trapped into not realizing their true power and action in decision and choice. Intention, decision, and choice are really, really crucial working points of manifesting anything, and they're very important in the law of attraction and all the other metaphysical laws at work that are here. And the crucial point is that you have to have a clear truth meter within yourself and really know what you want and why you want it, in order for that to be drawn towards you, in order for you to manifest whatever it is. I will say here, at the closing, because I'm already pushing 15 minutes, that my main kind of irking or issue with the presentation of just think it and it's going to come to you, and that's manifesting, and it's magical and we can all do it kind of thing, is it takes away from the true power of the individual and the true power of the creative process and the energetic processes and the physical processes that come into play as well when we take the time to commit to something, to plan for it, to take the steps necessary, the action that we're being called towards, to put in the work and then reap the benefits. Something in this inversion, the flipping of the lie, the delusion that's sent to the masses, and this thinking you can get it, just immediately thinking it's yours. If you want it, it's yours. The real lie and distortion of that is that it's like the Band-Aid quick fix, you know? You think that you can have what you want without actually working for it, without actually putting in real intention. You're going to put false, half-assed attention and intention and just think, oh, well, it just takes 5 seconds to just think this and I want it. And I have it. And you're missing out on all the lessons. You're missing out on the deep workings, the deep, the flavor, you know, the essence of it. You're basically taking a slice of cake and just eating the frosting off of it, and getting a bellyache from all this, the frosting, and missing the girth of the whole actual cake and the body of it that's there. And again, you know, I feel like it's fed to everybody on purpose, you know, for having that negative, self-fulfilling, prophetic kind of, okay, you want to do it, watch, it's going to fail for you. But they know it's going to fail for you because they've left out the crucial part of it, which is that you have to go through, you have to master and exercise those muscles of the mind and spirit and energy, do the dumbbell liftings that comes with plotting, planning, and action in real physicality. So many times going through that, building the muscles, learning the lessons, smoothing things over, troubleshooting and working through, that you have the wisdom and conscious to see multiple options when you're choosing to create. And when you get to that place, then you can call forth. Then you have that spiritual maturity. Then your muscles are strong enough to do that real life manifesting, to do that immediate thinking. It comes into me. Send a message out that I really want to see this book or hear this movie, and all of a sudden it comes into my world. Or hear that I really want to have, you know, a new blue car, and all of a sudden I do. Or I want to win the lottery, or whatever the thing is that you think you want to manifest, right? It's like trying to skip all the days at the gym and have the bodybuilder body, and to be able to have that whatever the body, you know, like be able to walk into the gym and pick up a huge, whatever they're called, whatever, big heavy weights. I can't remember what that bar is called. You know, that single bar that they all lift. Oh, forgive me. But yeah, you know, you can't just skip to the end. You can't be a scrawny young kid, just walk into the gym and say, oh yeah, I'm going to think I'm a super strong man, and I'm going to walk in, I'm going to be able to bench press this 500 pounds, and think your way into it. It doesn't actually work like that. You have to put the effort in. You have to build the strengths. You have to have the muscles. And then, as the bodybuilder, of course you can walk into the gym and be like, I'm going to bench press 500 today, you know? And it happens like that. And all those who are watching, who just see you that one day step into the gym and lift that, are like, oh, wow, you know, you're so strong. How'd you ever get there? I want to be you. And you can be like, people can say, hey, I spent 5 years in the gym, but most people don't. Most people are like, oh, just go for it. Think it, you'll get there. You know, you can do it. And they just leave it at those simple instructions. And you're missing the 5 years that they spent coming into the gym. You didn't see them as the scrawny kid, you know, trying to bench press 500 and you couldn't even pick it up. They weren't there for that. They weren't present. They didn't witness that. And when you see the final results, and you want to empower others as that bodybuilder, right? You want to be like, yeah, you can do it too. You can. But we forget, and we don't have the time or capacity. Actually, it's really not our job even to sit them down and show them our life and show them how long it took us to do all these exercises and this and that. Some of us do. Some of us are wonderful teachers, and we enjoy spending some of our free time, you know, giving exercise lessons and saying, hey, eat right, think right, you know, come back, I'm here, I'm at the gym, are you? You know, and doing, living it out and showcasing, but not many really do. Not many really live through teaching, and they're hard to find. And of course, like, the mainstream is way more easy to find, and they're all promoting the end game and saying it's so easy, just any skinny kid can pick up 500 pounds if you think right, and that's just, it's not the case. So I went on for a little bit longer than I like to on these videos. I think I stuck more to the mainstream version here than I did in my previous video. So I'll rewatch and decide if I want to air that as a deep dive or not. But for now, if you are, hearing so many people talking about manifesting, seeing people claiming these manifestations or showcasing them, just giving end results, snapshots of the final finish line and the trophy, and you're feeling left out or not good enough, or you're feeling like, oh, why even start the race when they already run it and won it, right? Just take that as indications that there's a great amount of internal balancing and shadow work for you to do, for you to go through these ideas of why your journey is worth it for you and what your trophy is at the end, and to stop comparing with others and to just get away from those mainstream definitions and not identify with them, and remember that there's years of practice before you get to that end result. And for people, and just as a final closing here, I will add, because we do live within this heavy overlay of the negative matrix, illusions and falsities being presented, really plastered out for us. So just as a quick reminder here, especially for people who are newly waking up, if people are promoting the end finish line and they are telling you that they have some kind of shortcut route to get there and maneuver there, or that they are the skinny kid showing up at the gym and lifting 500 pounds up over their head, and you see this, and they're saying, oh no, yeah, I did it, I'm graced with this, or outside sources gave me this power, or this is the truth, or what, you have to just do X, Y, and Z, or you have to take this to be this, or whatever their special little cheat is to get there at the end quickly. Really, that alone should be a huge red flag to you, that is a delusion and a lie. It is an inversion created by the matrix to keep you looped, like I talked about at the start, the whole mass of the crowd, the herd, who is just circling around this manifesting, I can think positive thoughts and be happy, think positive thoughts and be happy kind of thing. Slapping more frosting on and more frosting on, and never realizing that underneath it is, a stinking layer of trash that they're not taking care of. So just be mindful of that, and just know that there are many, many, many falsities, promoted out there. These spectacles that are sort of like shown that we should be like them, or that we should do it their way. Don't be deceived. Use personal discernment. Go inwards and seek your own personal truths, and to discover and define why you lie to yourself, why you do create sort of obstacles in your own way, or why you do choose to interpret things in a certain way, or misinterpret, or be triggered by, or be confused, or even curious, or even intrigued. Look at all of them and kind of the same scope and the same appreciation, and you'll find your way. You'll discover what drives you, and before you know it, you'll see the improvements being drawn into your life. You'll see the manifestations happening, because you're actually doing the inner work, and your outer world will always reflect your inner work, no matter what. When you try to skip things over, when you try to just jump to the end, when you try to not do the work but reap the results, you should be forewarned that you're going to have flimsy, false results that are going to fall apart in just a moment, because you didn't really work for them. So yes, you can think, and things do happen. And yes, in higher realms and in ascension and in 5D and all these kind of things that everybody's talking and brewing about and plastering out there, not denying realities of that, and I'm not denying other workings of that. But for the most part, for this space and time that we're jammed into here, that the workings to do the work, and then afterwards to reap the benefits. And the work, quote unquote, it isn't, it's metaphorical. It can be energetic, it can be emotional work, it can be spiritual work, it can be physical, it can be all or a couple. It's so unique to each thing. Unique to you and to the circumstances. So don't go by other people's lead. Don't follow a carrot on a stick, right? Follow your heart, and it will take you to whatever is for you. Because no matter whether you know about manifesting, no matter what terms you choose to identify with or call it, or whether you're super familiar with it or not, the universe and ether doesn't know and doesn't care. It speaks energy, it speaks frequency, it speaks desires and intention. And so if you have clear intention naturally, or you're not as deluded or controlled, or you do a lot of work and you love yourself and you seek honesty and a positive way through, you'll be met with help and assistance, and you'll find your positive pathway through. Because it is, I mean, at the end of the day, there's truth in their lies. You can think, you do think, and you create your world. It's totally true. But it's complicated. And it's not just thoughts and speech. It is not controlled by the frenetic boss in the brain here. It's deep, it's subconscious, it's unconscious. It's your connection to infinite intelligence and to ether space all around you. The antenna of your radio station is playing out on multiple levels all the time. So when you can listen and hear them and get in touch with them, you will think and it will appear. You will want and you will get. You will ask and you will receive. Because you'll be centered with more oneness and offering service out, and for your own highest good and for your own path and journey. So yeah, I guess I kind of did rumble on a little bit. This is 10 minutes longer than I like to do. So thank you so much if you have stuck with me for this video. I appreciate you listening to me so much. You can look at the links in the description below for more from me, or always find me on Telegram, A. Marie Speaks over there, or Spotify, same name, and YouTube and BitChute, of course, if you're seeing me there, You can find out more videos across whole wide spectrum of esoteric things, introspection, spirituality, and happiness. So, yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are. Thank you for your contribution to our collective, right? Thanks for witnessing mine, and I'll catch you next time.